Hello. Thank you for coming to visit my virtual table, and big thanks to the Learning Roundtable of the ALA for putting on this event this week and giving me the opportunity to talk to you. So my name is Shayna Hollick. I'm the Learning and Training Manager at Creative Commons. For 15 years before that, I was a professional librarian. I worked in K-12 schools, in public libraries, academic libraries, and even a brief stint in a federal government library. I worked in tech services and also at the front desk and ended that part of my career as a library director. And I also, along the way, got to teach some classes, which was great, teaching cataloging to new librarians and copyright and open education. And now that's what I get to do full time, is teaching about copyright and open education and open access to librarians and educators from all over the world. So I just want to talk with you briefly today about how openly licensed content and training can benefit your library and your staff and your patrons. So, Creative Commons is an international nonprofit organization founded in 2001, and our whole mission is about building a world where education, culture, and science are equitably shared as a means to benefit humanity. You might have seen our icons and our licenses and legal tools online. So here you can see our 6 different licenses that we offer, our public domain tools, and if you download the PDF, each of these icons is a clickable link. So you'll be able to click on each one, learn more about it, learn exactly what those licenses do and how they work. And if you're not sure exactly what they do and how they work, that's what I teach people. So the whole idea behind open licensing is that it gives greater access to education and knowledge and culture that copyright law generally would keep restricted and keep locked down. So if I write a book, I have copyright in my book, but if I want to put my book online and share it freely with the world, maybe, I wrote some sort of educational text and I just want teachers to be able to use it in their classrooms. I don't want to sell it. I don't want to have to worry about going through all those hoops. I just want people to use it. That's what these tools enable me to do. And these tools have opened up a world of knowledge and research. So here is just a few small examples of some places that have openly licensed content. So this content is not only free for you to use, as in no cost, but also free for you to make copies of, revise, edit. Copyright law says if we want to do any of those things, we have to get permission from the author. But the CC licenses gives you the permission. The author is telling you, you have my permission to make copies of this, to use it in your classroom, to use it in your library, to show patrons to it. You don't have to subscribe to a big database. You can just go to somewhere like OpenStax and download educational texts. Wikipedia is all openly licensed content. This is why you're able to just cut and paste and edit it freely. And there's all these other places. The Digital Public Library of America is a great way to find images and historic literature. And there's a whole lot more out there. As you start to click around, if you haven't seen the CC license icon and tools, you will start to notice them more and more as you start surfing the internet. So these are just some examples of ways that libraries have been using CC licensed content. So librarians who teach are often creating renewable assignments for their classroom. And these are assignments where students can actually share their work publicly with the world. They're making something that will live on beyond the end of the class instead of just writing an essay that they're going to immediately throw in the trash as soon as they get a grade on it. You can publish your own open educational resources, adapt your own open textbooks. There are some great resources for patrons that I used to use in the public library all the time, especially for medical information. There's a ton of bad information on the internet, as we know, lots of inaccurate things, lots of things that are really biased. But there are some really good, free to use, free to access, free to copy resources that are actually vetted, that are from authoritative resources. And so I always loved pointing patrons to those. So some examples here: Medline Plus, PubMed Central. There's also a lot of library toolkits that have been released with CC licenses. So there's one I worked on about misinformation and how to teach your patrons about misinformation and make them more resilient to misinformation, especially online. And all of the resources in that toolkit are CC licensed, which means you can adapt them, you can copy them for use in your own library, you can edit them to make it more realistic for your patrons, you can tailor some of the examples, you can change out images if you want to. These are all things that you're now able to do thanks to the power of open licensing. There's some additional useful resources here that you can click on if you want to learn more. But the best way to learn more, of course, is to talk to us about some possible trainings. So we offer these online courses. Our flagship course, the CC Certificate, is a 10-week asynchronous online course where you're in a small section with a group of folks who do similar work as you, and you have an expert facilitator that guides you through the course content and that gives you personalized one-on-one feedback for all the coursework that you do, for all of your assignments and your discussions. And that's a really great way to become more involved in the open community and to learn more about how these things work. But some people prefer in-person trainings, shorter trainings. We have condensed versions of that 10-week course we call boot camps that we'll do in 1 week or sometimes 2 weeks. We can come to your library for a staff development day and do half-day programming or full-day programming. We can also do webinars and online trainings. We have opportunities for all sorts of different things that are tailored to exactly what you need and what's going to be most useful for you in your library context. We also do some consulting. So if you're at an institution that digitizes its own content, for example, and you're considering making that content available online and you want to know the copyright implications of doing so, you're like, maybe I should CC license some of this content, or I don't even know what questions to ask. Should I even think about that? We can do some consulting. We can come in and do some kind of facilitation around figuring out organizational strategy around those things, helping you plan and set goals, engage the community, develop programs for all of that content that you want to make available. So thank you very much for your time. This is some information on how to contact me. Like I said, if you download the PDF, all of these links are clickable. So please reach out at any time with questions, ideas. We're always looking for new ways to collaborate and new ways to help libraries. So thank you very much.